Greetings, everyone. It is night one of our jazz, winter of jazz. I don't know how long we'll go. We'll see how long we can stand it. My name's Gary. I am going to go post a link on our website so everybody knows where we're at. And let's see, should paste, shift, link, scroll, link, enter, edit, settings, open a new window, update, and then update. That should get everybody headed this way. I'll go ahead and tweet. Tweet is https://Jolly Roger ukulele.com, and then my face pops up, and then I want to put our little. I made a little picture of the guy under the Milky Way. I think that would be good to put that one in, don't you? Let me go get that off of the page. That is all right there. Save image as. Or save image as what? Oh, I know why. View page. Patience, grasa. But we're going to be doing all jazz for the next couple months. And just the good jazz, not crummy jazz. Not the jazz that people think of as jazz. Jazz. Save. I'm going to come over here to Twitter. Add the picture. Kick your fanny. Jazz. Open. There it is. There's that. You know it's this serious jazz when we include a spaceship. And let's see. Oh, I got retreated by the Eucharist. Very nice. And all right, let's see. All right, so hello everybody. I look horrible. Yeah, I don't know why. Partly it would have helped to shave at some point in the last week. How about that? Does that help cover me up? That helps cover me up. Let's see. Got the microphone set up. I got lighting on. We have new songs, so hopefully all of you have taken a moment to swing by and pick them up. They're on the member site, right? So everything I do is free during the day. We do one class all week. How many classes do I teach? I teach 4 a day, 16 plus 3 at night. So 67. I teach 19 classes a week. This is the only one that costs. And the cost is completely worth it because you can become a member of the Jolly Roger Ukulele website. And from there, you have access to, I think we're over 200 songs now. Let me just double check. I'm not lying to you. We are up to, we are sitting at 245 tunes on the site. Every one of them expertly arranged. And every one of them really hard to play. So set up for baritone and for ukulele. And not everyone's set up for baritone yet, but we're getting there. And there is beginner stuff, and there's little nats, and there is advanced stuff. And there's arpeggios. And what else do we do? Do all of the different types of songs that you would think on ukulele, and lots of songs that you would never think should go on a ukulele. And last month, we've been working pretty hard at a small number of songs to master them. Next few months, I'd like to just blow it up and turn it into a crazy amount of songs so that you'll find one or two that you really love. So that's the plan anyway. I am in the process of downloading today's stuff into my gadget. Again, guys, as you're logging in, if you have not taken time to download the new songs for tonight, you should. You probably really do want to have both the baritone version and the ukulele version, if even if you only have one, because what will happen is while we're playing the ukulele version, you as a baritone player are going to want to play along at the same time. Similarly, when I'm playing the baritone version of it, those of you with ukuleles are going to want to play along. And the real reason I decided to do that was that it'll give you an opportunity to figure out how solid your chords are, and hopefully learn something about your own, about the stuff. And so, let's see. I think I can download them here. I think I can download. Then I can put them in the appropriate folder, and it'll be faster. Let's see. So tonight we are going to be playing. Let me get over to this page, and I will tell you what we are playing. So they're all in the member portal, and those of you guys that are used to just showing up and having it on the front page, you make sure you log into the website, and then they are down just a little ways underneath the Starry Night image. We are going to be playing All of Me, why not take all of me? It's a very weird song lyrically, because the guy is saying, you take all of my body parts since you're taking yourself away from me. A little bit of an overreaction, it seems to me. We will also playing As Time Goes By. You must remember this, from Casablanca. I guess it's just a kiss. It's Casablanca, right, guys? As Time Goes By, baritone. As Time Goes By, ukulele. And then we are going to play La Vie en Rose. For a lot of you guys, I've been playing La Vie en Rose for a long time on lots of different instruments. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. And I think you'll really enjoy playing it on ukulele. I think it's going to be pretty. La Vie en Rose ukulele, La Vie en Rose baritone. And then, of course, Moon River. If jazz is going on, I'm throwing Moon River in there. So we already spent a good deal of time on this. What's different this time is we did not have a baritone version of it. And so now you will get the opportunity to play, if you're a ukulele player, to play with the accompaniment to that. And so it should be interesting, I hope, and educational and all that good stuff. All right, it says download starting, and nothing's happening. Oh, download completed. Okay, it just didn't. Usually it shows me these little things it does. All right, 7:06. Let's see who's logged in. Let's see who's here tonight, and then we'll get started on the work. So, topping our first in group, Tanya from down south. She's a old baritone player from back in the day. Awesome to have her here. Sherry's here. Sherry's a real music teacher. If I say anything wrong, she'll let me know. Cindy's here. Cindy's just wrong. Kat is here. Good evening. Jazz for tonight. Excellent. Diana's here. She's been switching back and forth between ukulele and baritone. And we're printing like crazy. I know. I was writing like crazy, trying to get ready for tonight. Pam is in. She's in from Connecticut. They getting snowed on a little bit up there tonight. Vic is in from Eugene. Janice is in from Australia. Evelyn is in from Ecuador. Mame is here. She's a local in our local orchestra here, as is Annie and Laurel and Kay. All those guys are here. Lindy is in. Good. Where were you today? Lindy ditched classes earlier today. Oh, it's work. She has to go to work. Seriously, dude. Poor decision. Let's see. What else is going on? Let me make sure there's all of our things I need tonight. Valerie's in from Illinois, feeling jazzy. Let's do this. Pauline is here from California. Jacqueline is local. Sandy is in from Upper Michigan. Carol's in from Western Colorado. Some new tunes. Yep. They're not. Some of them we've done before, but they're all updated arrangements. So hopefully I got as many typos out of there as I could. Vicky is here tonight from Bozeman. Amy is in. 250 songs for $25 a quarter is 10 cents per song. See, Amy knows how to do math. I feel like 10 cents a song. That seems like a pretty good deal, doesn't it? Give me a dime. I'll give you a song. Give me a dime. Yeah, nice. That seems like a fair deal. What are they on music score? About $5.99 a song on music. What's the one I use? Music Notes. Warren is in. He's also in Australia. He was keeping that a secret. I didn't know that until earlier today. Fran is in from Southern California. Jazz is in. She's a local. I call her Jazz. Some Jasmines don't really like to be called Jasmine, but I have a niece called Jasmine, but we have never called her Jasmine, probably ever. It's always Jazz. Linda's in from British Columbia. Kari's in for one last minute song, huh? I've been writing all weekend, guys. Let's see. Red is here. Linda is in from Maui. Matt, she was watching the whales jump out of the ocean earlier today. Super jealous of her. Marianne in from Michigan as well. Deborah's in from local. She's a serious classical guitar player and has decided that she's going to conquer baritone has already conquered baritone. So she's the one who keeps me concerned at my standard notation. I don't pay a ton of attention to it after I write it in. So she checks me out. She straightens me out if I need it. Manette is in. She's in from Western Colorado. I haven't been seeing you around much, Manette. Glad you're here. And Patty is also in from local. All right, let's get started. I'd like to just start with All of Me. Let's do the baritone version first. Let's pull the All of Me baritone up first. And this one will give those of you ukulele players, give you a little bit of the run for the money. Okay, so all of the sets of music are both the same from the tablature perspective, but they're quite different, as you know, from the chord perspective because you're in a different key. And for newer players, I help you, right? I say, all right, here's what a G chord looks like. Here's what a D chord looks like. And then theoretically, you're able to do it. For you guys, at this point, I would say probably pretty likely that you need to be able to figure out what chord shapes look like on your own. And it's not to be mean or not to do something. They just don't fit on the paper. And so I figure it's like, well, I'll let you figure out the smartest way for you to figure it out. But if I've got a baritone ukulele and you've got a ukulele, you're going to have to look up these chords. Now, on the one that I use is called Ukulele Fretboard. It's off of, I have Android. That's what it looks like. Is that going to come into focus? I don't know if that's going to focus or not. So that's what it looks like on the surface. The important thing for me is it says baritone, low G, and high G. Now, you guys know low G and high G, the chord shapes are the same, so I'm not sure why they have it split out. But a baritone, and then I just click Find Chords. And so if I need a B chord, it gives me all the possible. And this is something you want to look for in a chord finder, is it gives you all of the choices. So as I scroll down the fretboard, gives me all of the choices that I could use. So I could hold down any of these dots and I would get a B chord. Okay. The other nice thing about it is there's some sort of like major seventh chords are in here. That's another thing you need it to be able to do is some your major sevenths, minor sevenths. This one goes into augmented sus twos and sus fours, and the fifths. By the way, here's something you need to know. If you see chords that say 5, that's a special notation in that it's meant for power chords on guitar. And so they get rid of whatever the third is, and you only have the main chord and the 5. And the reason you do that is when you play with an amplifier with a guitar, if you use power chords, the amplifier loves it. It's just absolutely like, oh, I totally know what's going on. Same as if you've ever been tuning your ukulele up and you're hitting a C, but it's saying G, it's because it's getting it a fifth off. It's very, very strong agreement when you see a B5 or any type of fifth chord. I never did understand it for a long time. Like, that's just the fifth is the fifth, and that's part of the chord. But what the 5 chords, they drop out the third, and that's why they're a special group. But there's a sixth and minor sixth and ninths and all that stuff. So that's something you probably want to have in your wheelhouse. Some of you are old school and just need a piece of paper with a chord chart on there, and I reposted those chord charts on the website. I just updated those, and you can find those on, I believe it's the ukulele and baritone tab. It is ukulele and baritone tab. I don't have it for the baritone one done yet. It takes hours and hours and hours to do those things. So I will get one done for the baritone. But for ukulele players, you're the one more likely to need to look up your chords on baritones because those are going to be weirder keys. There is a chord chart on the front page of the website. It's the same one as before. I found 2 errors on the last one, so I updated it and cleaned it up just a little bit. And so there's that. Let's see what else is going on. So all of me. Chords are G, G major 7th, B7. Okay, so on ukulele, you know your G, of course, and G major 7th. Probably I would just take this finger off and play that one. I would play B7 with a bar. E7. That's a shape you should know. A minor 7th, I would probably just play an A. That's what I would do. A minor 7th is actually all open strings, so you could play that as well. E minor 7th looks very much the same as a G major 7th, so just these bottom 2 fingers. But as in jazz, you're going to run into chords you don't know what they are. I run into it all of the time, and I know all my chords. I run into all these chords that I don't know what the heck they are because they have all this weird stuff after them. So as we've talked before, when you're playing in a situation where you're not 100% sure what all these chords are, for the most part, you can just play the main note. So if it's a G chord, okay, if it's a G major 7th, you're going to get away with playing in G. Just play the thing you do know. If it's a B7, and you're like, oh, I don't remember that one, think A7, move it up to B7. E7, okay, that's one we use a lot. And then A minor 7th. If you've got an A minor on and you miss the 7th, there's not that much of a difference between them. So take the main name of the chord and focus in on that. And then, of course, if you happen to know a more sophisticated way to hold that particular shape, then you do that. And if you're not 100% sure what you're doing, spend a little time with the music outside of here to write down what your chord shapes look like. And I think that you'll end up with a little bit better sounding probably. B dim 7. Okay. Anytime you hear dim 7 or B flat dim 7, you are thinking just diminished, okay? Because ukulele, the truth be told, when you hold a diminished chord on a ukulele, you're really holding a diminished 7th chord, but out of, I think, just out of standardization or a generally accepted practice, when we say be diminished, when we say be diminished, we mean be diminished 7th. Okay. So again, don't overthink it. The other nice thing about diminished chords, it's always the same shape. You just have to find the fret that sounds the best. Usually I start with the bottom fret. If that sounds okay, I stick with it. If it doesn't, then I try the first fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and the 4th fret. You never need to go above the 4th fret because they just start repeating their inversions. And so diminished 7th shape will always be strings 4 and 2 will be 2, and then strings 3 and 1 will have in the next fret up. And hopefully all you guys have figured out. I do it all the time because I love it. But if it comes up that that the guy in the shiny, the guy on the horse is coming with his whatever, with his white hat on. If you know that the horse is coming over the ridge and he's going to be there in time, you can tie a girl onto the railroad tracks as long as you have a mustache, a cape, and a top hat. And so now here's the train's coming. You've tied the girl to the thing, and now we know how to play. And on ukulele, it's unique among the instruments to be just grab your diminished shape. The guy with the white hat shows up, unties the girl, saves the day. Okay. If you're not sure he's on his way, don't tie any girls to the railroad tracks because they'll get run over and killed and you'll go to jail. It's not something you want to be doing. Christy says, baritone, major 4th fret chord. Can you substitute 1013 for the 1403? Try it, see what happens. So I'm looking at measure 4. The 1403, 1403, that's a super fancy B chord. Okay. switch it out. Probably. Heck yeah. And in fact, I'm going to put that as, I'll just put it as a 2. That's probably a good idea. The 3 is what matters there. I don't know how that 4 showed up. Oh, I know how the 4 showed up. So Christy's point is that measure 4, you've got 1, 4, 0, 3, which is kind of hard to play. Right. So just substitute it out for the B7 baritone players. Just use a regular B7 shape, pinky forward. Yeah. Good eye, Christy. Good catch on that. Carly says beef and diminish. Okay. Never mind. I'm off a fret. No, you're not. My fingers don't go that way. No, you're fine. 1, 2, 0, 3 is really should be 1, 2, 0, and then 3. That 4 up there is it works, but it doesn't make sense. It's too hard to play. Okay, good question. I don't know how I usually catch those things. All right. Same on 16. Does it show up again on 16? No, 16 is fine. 1, 2, 0, 3. That's a D7 with the 3 up there, and then come back. Okay, so you guys are rushing ahead on me. So first of all, let's do some chords. Okay, grab your chords, see if you know them. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see? I'm no good without you. Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Bum, bum, your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I gonna go on, dear, without you? And then all the way up to 5. You took my, and then this is hard for pinky index on 4. Heart that once was mine, and that minor 6 is really a cool sound. Mine was my heart, so why not take all of me? And then, so find it on ukulele. Try up a fret, 2. Try back a fret or so, and see if you can figure it out. You hear that? That's an augmented sound. So listen to what augmented sound. Here's a D chord. Okay, here's a D augmented. Okay. Boing. It has that boing feeling to it. Purpose of a poing is to take you back to the top. So those are your chords on baritone and ukulele. You're singing. I know some of these. I don't know others. I will look up the others when I have a minute. Okay. Let's talk. We're not going to play through melody in this group. If you're working on melody playing absolutely during the day, and you don't even have to show up for those, right? You just go listen to the recording each day on the archives and I do think playing melody is something you want to just get where it's very natural to you. Let's talk tough uke, okay? When we get to ukulele, the tough uke is identical. It's just in a different key, okay? So 003, all of me, and then the 2. And then this is a triplet, remember? So though you were putting 3 notes in the space of 2, so you play them a little faster. Why not take, and then go grab your B7. Oh, and then that's 4 you have to get. It's the melody, right? Of me. And then just do a B7, but move your pinky up a little. Blum, blum, E7. Can't you see? Okay, and then a full E7. Another triplet coming here. I'm no good with, and then you want to make sure to be ready to jump on A minor with your pinky on 3. 2, 2, 3 is not, don't do it 2, 2, 3. You could do that, I suppose, but you're really probably wanting to do the A minor because that's your next chord anyway. Do it. Put the A minor on, add your pinky at 3. How do you, and then you can continue to hold the A minor, pinky up on 3, and pull it back to 2. Isn't that pretty? And then you go to B7, take my lips. That's hard to play, I think. And then measure 10, that's probably where, that's also a typo. 1, 2, 0, 3. That 4 you can tell is on top of something. the baritone gets copied, so it's 1 2 0 3. I'll fix this stuff on an update so you guys know. But at measure 10 1 2 0 3, I want to, and then all the way up to 5, lose them, and then this is 1 0 2. Isn't that cool? Doesn't that sound like jazz? That's jazz you guys are playing. And then hit this. Okay. And then A7 with the 2. Take my arms. And I was really inefficient with my motion there. You might want to take and do these 2 fingers, middle and ring, and that leaves your index finger open to do the other melody note. Take my arms. I want to. I'll never use them. Okay, look at how little motion that is as you grab that D7. I'll never use them. Dum, dum. Okay, and then we go on. Same idea again here. Your goodbye, page 2. Left me with eyes that cried. There's the correct shapes there, 20. E7. How can I go on, dear, without you? Pinky. Here's a nice bar on 5. Love these. Doesn't that sound cool? It's just a 6th chord. You took my, and then this will be coming up a lot in jazz tunes. This shape comes up a lot where you're going to put a G7 or D7 shape on, but instead of doing this guy, both of these guys go down in this here. So you're going to have a 5 5 4 5. It's that kind of a shape right there. So put on 5 5, index fingers behind, and then pinkies on the bottom. You hear that? Okay, that's old school jazz right there. Okay. You took the part that once was my heart, so minor 7. Why not take? And then you've got your D7 ukulele players. It'll be a G7 up here. Put your pinky up on the 7. Oh, and then you drop down to 3. Me. And you got this crazy diminished shape. Beautiful. A minor 7. And then the augmented D. Okay, and then we go back and repeat the whole song. Aren't those cool chords? The fun part about jazz is that people don't sit down and think jazz, generally speaking. They sit down and they play it, and then they start substituting chords and trading them out and trying to find something that sounds cool, and pretty soon you end up with all of that. To end the song at measure 35, you're going to play me in minor 7th and then major 7th. Isn't that going to be nice? That's going to be a nice piece of music. So yes, Cindy, on 10 is correct. The correction at 4 should be 1 2 0 3 in the first chord on measure 4. Same correction in the first measure of measure 10. So absolutely. So I'll post revisions of that so that if I'm not making myself clear, you won't have to worry about it. Ukulele players, you want to know the chords that are on here, so you got to go do a little bit of work to put them on there so that you can provide an effective accompaniment to me. Now we're going to switch parts. Okay, I'm going to switch over to ukulele. You're going to grab the ukulele sheet music, and now we'll put the baritone players to work. So all of me ukulele, and this will put the baritone players to work. My thing here. Okay, so now notice how on the tab, the tough uke, it's all the same. Everything's exactly the same. Everything. Okay. The only difference is the standard notation changes. So in other words, it goes up higher, of course, and the names of the chords change. Okay, but even the shapes of those chords are still the same. So Cindy, measure 31 with G major 7 with the G on the 4th string. Measure 31. All right, hold on. Let me go back and check. Let me see what she's talking about. Measure 31. G major 7 with the G on the, yeah, because you're finishing up that's the melody note. Okay, it's supposed to be here. But I dropped it down here. But if you want to put a 2 on there, nobody's going to complain. Because what you're really doing is all of me. And that's what you're supposed to play. All of me. But it's too high. So all of me. But if you wanted to put the 2 on there, Cindy, I see what I know what your concern is, right? All of me, right? Different song, but it says you could do that. Heck yeah, give it a try. See, that's a good idea, actually. All right, I'm leaving what I am on there, but yeah, it's a fun choice. A lot of times your melody note and your chord will conflict, and then you have to make a choice. That's just jazz. It's just the way it goes. Okay, let's talk about your chords for baritone players. Okay, ukulele player, you got your C chord. Baritone players, you know that's your shape there. C major 7, slide down here, right? Major 7th on C major 7th on baritone stinks. So just do a regular C chord with your ring or pinky here, and don't lose too much sleep over it. E7 for baritone, right there, right? A7 right here. D minor is that's this one, right? We had that quite a bit in whatever we just finished playing. E7, A minor 7, probably. What would I do? I'd probably. Oh, I know. I'd play an A minor pinky on 3. That's what I'd do for baritones there. You know your D7, of course. That's that one. G7 is right here. And then that's the majority of the chords there. There might be a few others to think up. That little section there in 25 through 30, that's pretty busy. F6, I'd probably just play an F chord. Right? Probably was how I'd handle it. F minor 6, just play an F minor, of course. And then C major 7, which we just talked about, play just with the 3. I don't know what G minor 6 is. I'd have to look that one up. And so that's it. Also, same thing with you guys. You got E flat diminished. The ukulele players have it on too, but you'll find whichever fret sounds the best for you, for your ear. So let's play this one. Same exact hand shapes we just went through. So we should be able to, if you're paying attention, right, be able to just play it. Okay, baritone players, do what you can with the chords for now. Obviously, you're going to have a little bit of work to do to figure out which ones you really know and which ones you don't. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, sorry. Measure 5. Measure 9. Measure 13. Isn't that fun? Page 2. G7 up high. Let's try Cindy's idea. Put a 2 here. Sounds too final, Cindy. Put a 3 there. And then the diminished. Yeah. chord. That's the correct chord. Okay. Repeat, play the whole thing again. And then when you come in the second time to end it, go to 35, ready, play. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that's a great place for that C major 7. So probably if I'm strumming, I'm going to play a C major 7. But if I'm at all involved in the instrumental side of things, I'm just going to go with a C major there at 31. The C major 7 sounds like it's the end of the song too much. So great ear, Cindy. Great conversation idea. Try it both ways, but I think a C major is correct. So there's all of me. Your big job is to go and make sure you know your chords, okay? And that's part of the reason why we're doing some of this is trying to find ways. Like I know you guys know how to play tough uke. I don't worry about that at all. But I do worry that if you walk over into a ukulele strum along, those guys might know more about their chords than you do, and that's not good. So we want to always be messing around with all of the possible ways to play. The other reason, if you're a ukulele player, you're like, why do I even care about the baritone music? It's so that you can accompany me, and that's a more important skill than anything else that I teach probably. Every skill I teach is important. It's a pretty important skill that when whatever I'm playing, maybe you're playing right along with me, exactly the same thing as me. Maybe you're like, I'm gonna jazz him up a little bit. I'm going to cover him with some cool chord ideas. I'm going to take whatever he's doing and make it better and different. Christy's here tonight. I was talking about her earlier in the day. She and I were working on some guitar arrangements, and we got together, and I had my way of playing it. She had her way of playing it. We got together. We saw which things worked that way and what things didn't. And then whoever, generally speaking, the lead player doesn't do that much adjusting because they're the lead, right? So the harmony player has to say, all right, maybe I'll simplify the chords. Maybe I'll make it more complicated. Maybe I'll try some arpeggios. Maybe I'll do this or that. And you can't really tell until you've been together. But this process of grabbing the chords for a piece of sheet music that you're not actually going to be playing, and then working as an accompanist is a real valuable skill, especially when we start getting out of lockdown and you start getting together with other people. You're going to want to teach them how to play their chords so you can play the melody and everybody sounds amazing, right? And hopefully, maybe somebody's sitting at your kitchen table right now and you're like, okay, you play the melody, I'll play the chords. And you don't have to play tough uke. I always do here because I know lots and lots of you are working on the solo part of this, but you do not have to play tough uke when you are playing with other people. You really can just, one person plays melody and one person does everything they can with the chords. The accompanist, I'm going to eventually find out how to say that word. Accompanist is actually probably got a more important job in that situation. You're just plucking out the melody. The chord player has a lot of work to do to make it sound great. Okay, next up, let's just do one of each of these. So since I know we're going to want to do Moon River on baritone, I finally got it done. I've only been playing it for 17 years. I'm finally got around to getting it done for baritone. So I know I want to do baritone on Moon River, which means I want to do ukulele on La Vie en Rose, which means we'll do baritone on As Time Goes By. So grab your baritone version of As Time Goes By. By the way, guys, you saw the list on the site of songs I'm thinking about doing. If there's a jazz tune, now let me be perfectly clear. If it's some weirdo jazz probably written in the last 50 years, I'm probably not. I almost certainly don't know it, and I probably don't really care about it. If Kenny G is known for playing that song, I probably am not going to work on it. But I might, you don't know. But if you have a song that's jazz-oriented that makes you feel like, hey, I heard that down at my local jazz club, and I like this song, send me a note about it. Otherwise, you get the songs that I've heard of that I like. I like pretty straightforward jazz. I don't like this stuff. We have a jazz station here, and honest to God, when I'm listening to it, I'm like, who listens to this? I don't even get it. I don't like it at all. But these old school jazz from the 30s and 40s, love that kind of stuff. And so that's the jazz I'll be putting together for you. So definitely drop me a note. Satin Doll's definitely one of those songs. It's awesome. I have several books of jazz here, and I'm happy to dig into any of those and see if I can figure out if it will work on ukulele. Most of that old school jazz works just fine on ukulele. You have weird chords that you got to go look up. That's the big thing. All right, As Time Goes By on baritone. Let's look at the baritone sheet music. And obviously, when I talk about the fingering for the Tufts thing, it's the exact same for ukulele. You're just in a different key. Okay. This, I believe, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. This was the scene in Casablanca. When he asked him to play the piano, you must remember this: a kiss is just a kiss, a smile, a sigh is just a sigh. Blanc, blanc, and Satin Doll's getting a couple of votes. Okay, let's talk about. Let's just go through and look at the Tuff uke. Make sure you don't see anything that's glaring errors here. Hit the 0. You're going to have that D minor shape. Ukulele players, it's a G minor. And then 0-3. Move your 1 over. And then 0-0-3. Then hit the 0. Okay, again, put that D minor shape on, G minor shape on ukulele, and then add your pinky. And that way you only have to put the chord on once, and your pinky does the job and then gets out of the way. Nice. C7 or G7. Okay, this our famous bar on 5, pinky on 8. How many times has that come up in the last 10, 11 months since we've been doing this? A bunch, right? This happens all the time. Okay, change out for your ring. Pinky up on 8. If you're just playing the melody, you can play a 3 further down, but when you're playing the chord melody, you really got to use this 8 up here. And then this beautiful, one of our songs, I think it was Bach actually, 0765. It doesn't sound at all like Bach, but look at how cool it is at this moment. Okay, this is another shape that we did in one of the songs. I don't remember which song that we just finished up. Index on 4, 2 on 5, and pinky up on 7. I think we did it further down. I think it was in Bridge Over Troubled Waters, I think. But it's your F sharp minor shape or C sharp minor shape. Move it up to 4, pinky on 7. Blum. And I gave you a little extra chart there to help you get it right. And then slide back to 2205. Here's this 7. Now, guys, on both baritone and ukulele, this is pretty easy on baritone and pretty hard on ukulele. You're going to put a little bar on 10, 11, and 12. So it's your B flat on 10. I just put it on not 10. I put it on 10. Here it is. Dum. 8-7. Go grab the 5. G7 or D7 shape with your pinky. Slide it forward. And then back to 0-0-3. 0-0-1. Okay, this minor 7 shape. By the way, on ukulele and in jazz, minor 7ths are awesome. They're going to come up a lot, and they're going to always sounds very surprisingly complex. Because all I'm doing in either my A minor shape or D minor shape, depending on which instrument on, all I'm doing is adding my pinky. But listen to the difference. There's an A minor, beautiful. Add your pinky, you get a lot more complexity out of these minor 7th shapes. And then there's that daggone E minor 7th again. Play it back to 2205. Repeat that top part. Measure 9, you got your F chord, or C chord in this case. So when you are doing these turnarounds, blom, 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 don't rush them. Those are supposed to be meaningful, thoughtful. They're complex ways of turning it around. If you're doing Bach, we just stop, go back and start again, right? But in jazz, we do some weird kind of cool turnaround type thing, and it'll end up being cool. Now, measure 10, we did this song with the guitar group, and we never could get measure 10 right, and I have done it, written it over and over and over. So at this point, I've now put a triplet in there because I figured, yeah, well, let's get it close. Moonlight and that's what you're supposed to do. 3, 1, 3, 1. And then this 5, 6, 5, 7. Now little 5, 7, 5, 6 there, just a little piece of the chord. That's just rhythm. It's not an essential part of the song. And then go grab your 8. If you're playing melody, you play the 3. Come back down to 2205. Page 2. 6, 5, 7 again. All fives. Okay, and then 5, 5. This one's come up a bunch too. Not exactly pleasant. It's the minor shape. Bar on 5, ring on 7, pinky over here on 8. And that's that. It's unpleasant every time it shows up, but you can do it. Then slide your bar to the 7s and get the 8. A 7, 8, 7, 10, 7, then 0, 5. Bong, bong. Remember from today from arpeggio class? Bong, bong, bong. Just adding in a little arpeggio there just to fill up space. Bum, wum, ba-dum, ba, wum, bum, bum, wum, bum, 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 wum, bum, bum. Bar on 5, pinky on 8. Bum, 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 bum. This is this 3-5-3-5. This is a cool minor 7 shape. 3-3-3-4, and then 5-5-5-7. 3-5-3-5. Yeah. So you got a lot of really weird tones there at the end, and they really, if you slow down and make the chords matter, it'll sound pretty neat, I think. And obviously, guys, with this type of jazz arranging. Sometimes I make dumb mistakes, right? Or I make mistakes that sound good at the time, but that are open for discussion. So if you come up with a better solution to some of these situations, by all means, send me a note. The problem is it's really hard to talk about this stuff over email, so we can absolutely dig into it and see what works and what doesn't. Let's grab ukuleles and let's play La Vie en Rose. I tell this story all the time. I had a young lady. She started playing guitar with me when she was about 10 or 11, and she played with me for many years. Got to be a heck of a guitar player. Then turned 13. So I must have had her from 9 to 13, something like that. And she was playing at a very high level. And we got to La Vie en Rose, and I said, "This is a world classic. You're going to love it. We're going to work on this. We're going to turn it in. I'm going to have you memorize it. This is something you want to have for the rest of your life. This is a great song." She hated the song so much that not only did she refuse to play it, she ended up quitting guitar altogether. So La Vie en Rose, don't quit playing ukulele because of La Vie en Rose. I'll feel bad for you. Those of you guys know this song. You know, everybody, I think most everybody knows this song. Written in France, and the original lyrics are French. And then it was Edith Piaf who wrote the lyrics, and Luigi, he wrote the music for it, and it's really beautiful. It really works on ukulele. It works on every instrument. It's one of these songs you're like, gosh, that's nice. So we won't spend a ton of time on it. Baritone players, you're going to need to look up what a C major 7th looks like. You need to know your D minor 7ths, and so take some time for the accompaniment part of this to go through and make sure you know what your chords look like so that you can accompany me while we're playing. But at the end of the day, I know what you're really here for, which is tough axe or tough uke. And obviously, you're going to put more time in on whichever instrument you have in your lap, working through the tough uke. But don't forget to go through and look up those chords you don't know. I could put them all on here, but again, they don't really fit on the paper. And a lot of you guys know your G7, right? And so I don't want to waste time teaching you something you don't need to know. You don't probably need to look up what a G7 is on your instrument, but you might need to look up a D minor 7th or Caré's B flat diminished 7th, right? It's just a diminished chord. All right, let's play La Vie en Rose. We're just playing through stuff tonight, and then we'll talk about how it relates to stuff we've been doing and where we're headed. Okay, so from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. What am I doing wrong? There it is. I'm sorry, I went too fast, didn't I? Go from measure 10. Ready, play. Page 2. Now this is a little bit of a weird moment. F7, 1, 2, 3, and then your pinky up here. So it's really an E7 with a bar on one, but you only hold down one string. Here's that same shape again. Index on 4, surrounded by 5s. Isn't that beautiful? Do that whole idea again. And then you straight bar 5. 8. This is 5, 5, 5, 7. There's those arpeggios we were working on earlier today. Again. Back to the main idea. Two surrounded by 3s. That's cool. And then go back and repeat the whole song. When you come out the second time, measure 25. And here's Cindy's note. And on that major 7th sound. Really one of the coolest things on ukulele is that major 7th sound. So you got a sense of how the song goes. Very, for the most part, pretty playable. The hard section there is all those goofy 5s with all those weirdo chords around them in 13, 14, and 15. I'd say that, and into 16 probably, eat you up just a little bit. But other than that, really quite playable tune. And that's another one of these. You put it to memory and you'd be like, yeah, I'm glad I own that song. That's a really, really nice piece of music. So I'm rushing just a tiny bit, guys, because I don't want to keep you along too long. It's new music, so we're just kind of introducing it, taking a look at over and giving you some strategies for where to go next. And then I do want to play through Moon River for baritone. Now, we have played Moon River for a month now, and I know you're sick of it, right? Can't get sick of it. It's the same as I felt like on La Vie en Rose for that little girl. No, you have to play it. It's part of what you have to do. If you know me, you must play Moon River. Period. But I want to play through it just to make sure that everything works. Now, here's what's fascinating, right? Ukulele players, you have this piece of music. You're already really, really good at playing it. But how are you at accompanying baritone in another key? Well, what does your G chord look like? All right, I know that one. E minor, I know that one. C, oh, that's my favorite chord. G chord, C chord. Things are going great, right? And then you get into B7, you're like, oh, I forgot what B7. Oh, that's that bar with the 7th shape with the bar here. Okay, I know that one. What's a B minor 7th? Oh, I don't remember what that one is. So there's a number of chords here that you might need to go just double check. It's a good double check for you. How am I doing on chords? Gary doesn't ever hardly work on chords, and I just do whatever it says on the paper. And I know that the tough U chords sometimes are like the chord up above and sometimes not. So make sure that you know your chords. We're going to play the baritone version of it. We're not going to do the repeat. We'll just play down through. And then I'm going to give you some strategies for the week. Okay. So I'd like to go from just 1 to the bottom. And remember, you will jump at 37. You'll jump to 43. Okay. From the top, 3-beat count in. 1, 2, 3. 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. Second ending. There's that arpeggio. More arpeggio. Okay, so now you have Moon River, both baritone and ukulele, gives you two separate sets of skill sets, right? On the whatever instrument you have in your hand, you can play the chords, you can play a melody, you can play a tough uke, and if you happen to be holding a ukulele right now, you're not going to play melody and you're not going to play tough uke, but you are going to play chords, and you'll see how you're doing with just looking at the name of chords and having that create some sort of knowledge in your head. Now, let me give you a couple thoughts about where we're headed and why we're doing what we're doing. We spent the last month fundamentally getting as close to mastery of a songs as possible, right? Did we play them perfectly on last Monday night? No. Did we play them pretty good? Heck yeah. Did we play them better than most ukulele players ever play in their whole life? Absolutely. And so we want to continue to think about how good that felt, really put in a lot of time on a song, even to the point of kind of hating the song just a little bit, right? Like I'm pretty much fine with taking a little break from that sonatina. I don't know how many hours I spent on that thing. And I'm going to take a little break on it, and then I'm going to come back to it, of course. But that business of really digging in and picking that out. Now, all four of these songs that we did tonight are all world classics, right? Like everybody in the music business knows these songs. And so it's not going to hurt you at all to spend a lot of time developing them into something. If you don't want to play accompaniment, you don't have to, right? You can sit through the part that we're playing on the other instrument, but why would you, right? Give yourself an opportunity just to try some new stuff, make a lot of mistakes, figure out what you do know and what you don't know. And then let's also then talk about what my plan is. I want to have a really nice amount of these songs done. I'm not a huge jazz fan, so it hasn't been a huge push for me, but I know lots of you guys really do like that, and especially in terms of wanting to have your ukulele do things that most people don't expect it to do. That would be kind of nice, right? And when people come around, when you're finally able to, play for somebody, or they're like, man, you're really putting a lot of time in on that ukulele. It'd be cool to knock out something like these songs here. And so we're going to put a lot of time into them. Every week, I'm going to have more for us to do than we can possibly do. What I plan to do is each week sort of do a quick overview of the main ideas of the songs. And then I want to go back through and just play through as much as we can, both ukulele and baritone, switching back and forth. So it probably is a good idea to double check those. I will be pushing stuff onto the website as quickly as I can. This stuff is way harder to write than I wish it is. And so a lot of times when you get into these wacko chords, you're like, oh, I can't do that on ukulele because it looks like this and it hurts. And so what are my other compromises? So there's a lot of arranging that goes into that. So those will be appearing on the website periodically over the next week. And by, probably log in about 30 minutes early before the Monday class if you don't have it any other time, and just make sure you have printouts for everything. And and as we find mistakes, some of these will be brand new arrangements. As we find mistakes, I'll post revisions and that stuff. So I do think by the time we get to the summer, you could be at a next level beyond where you are now, right? And it comes down to being a competent accompanist, knowing some what the heck a major, a minor, seventh, what those feel like and look like on your instrument. Maybe running into a few songs you've never heard of before that still sound kind of pretty, And so I'm jotting down your notes here as to some of the things you wanted to play, and then you'll be in contact with me saying, hey. I need help with this, or I want to do this, or please stop doing that, Gary, or whatever, right? And so those of you who are here locally, if we get together this fall, I would guess that we will probably be talking about a Back in Black type concert where we will do a couple of rock songs, and then I think we'll probably do a ton of jazz tunes. And so, something that's kind of fun and upbeat and a little bit recognizable. And so we may turn this into a concert if we can ever get back face to face. And so that if you're here locally, you certainly aren't wasting any time. And if you're not here locally, my goodness, right? Wouldn't it be cool to get your first neighborhood concert together and grab half a dozen of your friends, teach them how to play some of this kind of stuff, and you're an expert at it. The last 8 songs we did, you're already an expert at. We get another 15 jazz tunes or something, and you'll be really in great shape. So that's what I know tonight. I hope that you have these 4 songs hopefully will keep you entertained for the week in your practice. And again, I would want you to be thinking about mastery a lot more than I'm thinking about just surviving the paperwork. I can hand out paperwork till I'm purple. You guys can play it. That's no longer an issue for you. You know that you can play this stuff. The question is, can you play it well? Can you play it in a way that is meaningful to you, as your audience loves, right? And so that's what we're after. So have a lovely evening, and go forth and play some of this stuff. I'll see some of you in class tomorrow, and I'll see the rest of you in class next Monday night. And I'm writing down. Here's what I'm writing down. I'm writing down Satin Doll. I'm writing down Satin Doll. What was the other one? Just Satin Doll. Fools Rush In. Okay, I don't know if I know that one. Fools. Isn't that Elvis? Rush In. Fools Rush In. Oh, Night and Day. I know that one. Nearness of You. Nearness of You. Nearness of You. Night and Day. Night and Day. Bye Bye Blackbird. I've heard of that one. I probably don't know it. Oh, and obviously, if you don't know these tunes, go listen to them on YouTube a few times, and then go listen to the MP3 on the site, right? Bye Bye Blackbird. Bye Bye Blackbird. I think I know that song. Let's see. Linda says, what programs are you using to annotate your PDFs, including highlights, instead of printing all this music out? I have a large iPad, which I could use. You want to use that iPad probably, because I am a sheet music producing machine, and you will end up with many binders of junk to carry around. So if you can afford an iPad, that's the way to go. And guys, what are you using? Those of you with on iPads, which programs are you using where you can put the highlighter on? I don't use it. I use a different thing here that you can't do that. So those of you with iPads, what are you using to annotate with? Kari, good to see you. Pauline, nice selection of songs. Yeah, they're going to get good, Pauline. We're going to have a lot of good. So we're not going to pick up where we left off last March. I doubt it, Christy. I wasn't that impressed with what we were working on, but maybe. I don't know. I don't think we will pick up there. I think we need a fresh start. We will come back to those songs, but I doubt that. Let's put it this way. I know I don't want to pick up there. Okay. I want to pick up something a lot more upbeat and the stuff, but we'll get back to that music. It's just, it doesn't seem any reason. There's no reason at this point to think that people have kept up on it, so we can start fresh. Evelyn, it was wonderful. Thank you, Evelyn. Kari. Oh, yeah. If you're logged in, give me a thumbs up, right? How do you feel about Van Morrison? Moondance. Oh, I don't know that one. Let me look it up. Moondance. Yeah, that's a second Van Morrison reference I've heard this week. Man, I must be needing to do it, Jazz. I'll get it done. Francis, Yvette, Sherry, good. Thank you for being here, Sherry. Always feel a higher sense of obligation when you're around. Jacqueline, good to see you. Minette, you're welcome. Carrie, oh, hey, Carrie, how are you? Good to see you. Vic, good to see you. Janice, notability is a nice for the iPad. If you get the Apple iPencil, you can write and draw too. So notability, Linda, is one of those programs that people are using on iPad. Cindy, love the jazz stuff. Linda, my favorite, La Vie en Rose or Nearness of You. Did I write down Nearness of You? I wrote down Nearness of You. Okay. Janice, lots of work. Lots to work on. Just a lot of pretty stuff that's going to make you happy you're playing it. Time to watch the sun go down and watch the whales jump. 5 p.m. in Maui. Have had fun tonight. Good to see you, Linda. I'm so wildly jealous. Let's see. Oh, Pia Score. Okay, there's another option for you, Linda. Pia Score is on iPad. Okay. Should be nice. We right, Vicky. And Fourscore. I've used Fourscore, or at least their app, for a little bit. I was looking into it as a conductor to see if that would help me out, and it was more work than I wanted it to do. Tanya, that sounds wonderful. I know. Say hi to the Wells for us. Ukulele. Oh, we're gonna do a ukulele. We're gonna do a Hawaiian group of music someday. Cat. I use an app called Document by Readle. Yeah, it annotates PDFs and all kinds of files. It's free too. Okay, so Readle is another good option for you. Christy, clean out the binder time. Yeah, you should have already done it, Christy. About a week and a half after we all went in lockdown, I realized, yeah, it's going to be a while. Because you know what they were expecting? They were expecting Americans to do this right thing. And Americans are very bad at that. So I don't know. We'll get back to that stuff someday, but that's not how I definitely don't want to have our return concert be witches and scary things and magic and, all that stuff. No. Let's see. Linda, I take a screenshot. I take a screenshot and write all over it. Yeah, right. That's old school. That's the way to do it. Mame, oh, you're in Maui too? Just print it down. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got it up at about an hour before the class, Mame. So yeah, sorry about that. No worries. You're a good player. You'll catch up. Deb's for a fresh start. She's okay with that. We had Fourscore on iPad for a couple of years. So Vicky's a fan of Fourscore. I think that's the one that the conductors are doing a lot of work with. Barb, good to see you. Annie, good to see you. Lynn, thanks for all your CS. I'll check those out. Yeah. So okay, there we go. Look at us. We're crowdsourcing awesomeness. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful week. If I don't see you, and I'll see the rest of you next sometime tomorrow. And again, I'm perpetually behind on emails, but I do love to hear from you guys. So if you have an idea or whatever, toss me a note and I will for sure read it. So have a great night. I will see all of you next week.